The Grand Council of the Galactic Federation convened in their massive orbital chamber. Representatives from over 300 species gathered to decide the fate of humanity. Earth had been under observation for decades, classified as a primitive, death world with surprisingly resilient inhabitants. The assessment was nearly complete, and the vote for first contact imminent. Admiral Voss, a tall, blue-skinned representative from the militant Taurian Empire, stood before the assembly with a stern expression. "We have observed these humans for 70 Earth cycles. They are violent, territorial, and destructive. They wage war against their own kind over resources, ideology, and imagined boundaries. They pollute their only habitable planet and drive countless species to extinction. I propose we quarantine their system indefinitely." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. The evidence was overwhelming. Humans seemed uniquely self-destructive among sentient species. Ambassador Lorne from the peaceful Aldebaran Collective rose next. "While I acknowledge the concerning behaviors, we must recognize their potential. Humans progress at an astonishing rate. Their technological advancement in a mere century outpaces what took most of our species millennia. All the more reason to contain them," Admiral Voss countered. "They create weapons before they understand philosophy. They split the atom before mastering diplomacy. They are dangerous." The debate continued for hours until Chancellor Trell, the ancient leader of the Federation, raised a gnarled hand for silence. "Before we vote, I propose we send one final observation team. Not to study their wars or technologies, but something we've overlooked: how they resolve conflicts among themselves." 3 days later on Earth, in a small-town coffee shop, the observation team disguised as humans watched a peculiar interaction unfold. A tall man accidentally bumped into a shorter woman, causing her to spill her drink across her clothes and tablet device. The observers tensed, expecting aggression, perhaps the beginning of one of those human dominance conflicts. Instead, something unexpected happened. "I'm so terribly sorry," the man said immediately, his face showing genuine distress. "That was completely my fault. Please let me pay for your drink and your cleaning bill." He handed her a cloth napkin and continued, "And your tablet, is it damaged? I'll replace it if it is." The woman looked down at her stained clothes, then back at the man. The observers prepared to document the imminent confrontation. "It's okay," she replied with a small smile. "Accidents happen. The tablet's fine. It's waterproof." She dabbed at her clothes with the napkin. "Don't worry about the cleaning, these things wash out." The man insisted on buying her a new drink, and within minutes they were sitting at the same table, laughing about the incident. The observers were confused. Their data indicated humans should be territorial and quick to aggression when challenged or inconvenienced. This response pattern did not match their models. Over the next week, the observation team documented hundreds of similar interactions. Genuine apologies offered and accepted, conflicts defused before they began, mutual compromises reached without third-party intervention. They watched a contractor admit responsibility for a construction delay and offer compensation without being asked. They observed political opponents fiercely debate policy, then share a meal afterward, their professional disagreement not extending to personal animosity. They witnessed a child break a neighbor's window, confess to the act, and work to earn money for repairs. The most stunning observation came during an international negotiation, where one nation's representative said simply, "We were wrong, and we apologize," leading to a breakthrough in talks that had stalled for decades. When the HFY observation team reported back to the council, silence fell across the chamber. "This changes everything," Chancellor Trell finally said. "Their capacity for reconciliation exceeds even the Aldebaran Collective. They fight, yes, but they also forgive. Truly forgive, not merely calculate advantage." Ambassador Lorne leaned forward. "The ability to sincerely apologize, to acknowledge wrongdoing without external enforcement, might be humanity's most advanced feature. Many of our species still struggle with this concept after thousands of years of spacefaring civilization." Admiral Voss, normally the most vocal critic of humanity, remained silent for a long moment before speaking. "I have commanded fleets for 2 centuries, and have never once admitted an error to my subordinates. Yet these humans do so routinely, even when it costs them status. There is wisdom in this approach I had not considered. The Council's vote was unanimous. Humanity would be approached for first contact, not as a primitive species to be guided, but as equals with something valuable to teach the galactic community. 1 year later, when the first human delegation addressed the Galactic Federation, they began with words that none of the assembled aliens had anticipated. We come as students, as much as teachers. We have made countless mistakes in our history and will likely make more. When we do, we will acknowledge them and strive to do better. The translator had difficulty conveying the concept precisely, but every species in attendance understood the profound significance. What had initially seemed like humanity's greatest weakness, their capacity for conflict, was balanced by something few other species had mastered: the ability to admit fault, genuinely apologize, and rebuild what was broken. The universe would never be the same.